Today's news highlights 20250730. Date July 30th, 2025. Republic of China July 30th, 114. Time cutoff, 1500 hours on the same day. News focus Taiwan US reciprocal tariffs are about to be announced, and the market estimates that Taiwan's tax rate may fall to 15 to 20%, and the impact has gradually slowed down. Analysts believe that Taiwan stocks will react neutrally, and the real key is that the Section 232 semiconductor tariffs announced by the United States in 2 weeks may have a greater impact on the industry. Foreign investors have recently reduced short futures orders and sold put options, showing that they are optimistic about the future of Taiwan stocks. Experts pointed out that if semiconductors and ICT products are taxed, the impact will be far-reaching, but Taiwan's industry has the ability to pass it on. South Korean Samsung chairman Lee Jae-yong also went to the United States to participate in trade negotiations to strengthen cooperation between semiconductors and AI. News focus Taiwan US reciprocal tariffs are about to be announced, and Taiwan's tax rate is estimated to be 15 to 20%, and the impact on Taiwan stocks has gradually weakened. Analysts believe that the real key is the Section 232 semiconductor tariffs announced by the United States in 2 weeks, which may have a greater impact on the industry. Foreign investors have recently reduced their short positions in futures and preferred to sell put options, indicating that they are more concerned about the future of Taiwan stocks. Experts pointed out that if semiconductors and ICT products are taxed, the impact will be far-reaching, but Taiwan's industry has the ability to pass it on. It is also reported that Samsung chairman Lee Jae-yong went to the United States to participate in trade negotiations to promote cooperation between semiconductors and AI. News focus Goldman Sachs' latest report predicts that the revenue of computer and server foundries in Taiwan will benefit from 3 major trends: mass production of Apple's new machines, increased liquid-cooled penetration, and accelerated shipments of rack-level AI servers. Goldman Sachs is optimistic about Hon Hai, Wyvern, Wistron, Gigabyte, Asus, and Keyong, giving a buy rating. Quanta, Inventec, and others are neutral. The estimated annual growth rate of revenue from July to September was 41%, 30%, and 26% respectively. Wyvern and Wistron increased by 152% and 101% year-on-year in a single month due to AI servers. Keyong is also expected to grow strongly due to the trend of liquid cooling and folding machines. News focus Hon Hai and TECO suspended trading simultaneously on July 30th, which aroused great concern in the market. It is reported that the two sides intend to carry out in-depth cooperation in the field of electric vehicles or data centers, and may adopt equity investment or establish joint ventures. Hon Hai electric vehicles have long used TECO motors, and the two sides are complementary. There is also news that the cooperation is related to entering the Indian market. In addition, TECO specializes in data center electromechanical systems, and Hon Hai is the world's largest AI server manufacturer, and the cooperation between the two companies is expected to expand the AI and electric vehicle market territory. News focus after the Legislative Yuan passed the special regulation on the General Cash Fund of 10,000 yuan, the Executive Yuan has not yet decided whether to propose a reconsideration. The outside world estimates that Taiwan's administrative agencies have 3 sets of scripts. 1. Distribute 10,000 yuan to reduce debt. 2. The amount is revised down to 5,000 yuan. 3. Claim to interpret the Constitution, advocate the unconstitutional procedure of the Legislative Yuan, and cancel the issuance. The political yuan tends not to mention reconsideration, considering the political effect and the sensitive timing of the August election. If it is not reconsidered, the regulations will enter the implementation stage, but the details of the distribution are still under discussion and have not yet been finalized. News focus Taiwan US reciprocal tariffs are about to be announced, and the US 232 chip industry survey will also be released within 2 weeks, affecting Taiwan's semiconductor industry tax rate. Zhang Lejun, deputy head of the administrative agency, postponed her return to Taiwan, highlighting the importance of the issue. The Ministry of Economic Affairs pointed out that Taiwan's semiconductors exported to the United States account for only about 4%, and if semiconductors are taxed, the impact will be limited, but if it is extended to end products, mature processes will be affected. Experts believe that the level of tariffs is related to market opening, and Taiwan's chips are limited. Taiwan stocks were affected and weakened. In addition, the United States and China have launched a new round of negotiations in Sweden, and the temporary tariff truce may be extended until November. News focus Beijing has recently been hit by floods caused by extremely heavy rainfall, and the official death toll is 30, but many victims pointed out that the actual situation is more serious, and many people in some villages have lost contact. On July 27, 9 reservoirs in many places in Beijing discharged floods at the same time, causing rivers to swell, roads to be interrupted, and houses to be flooded. The outside world questioned that the official did not truthfully explain the flood discharge. People reported that in order to ensure the safety of the city, flood discharge is mostly directed to rural areas, exacerbating the disaster. The disaster in Mayun, Huairou and other places was serious. Hundreds of people in some villages were missing, rescue was difficult, local infrastructure was seriously damaged, and people complained. News Focus: a bipartisan group of U.S. Senate officials sent a letter to Apple and Google, demanding the removal of VPN applications related to the Chinese-funded Q360 because they are suspected of cooperating with the Chinese military and threatening U.S. national security. Q360 was sanctioned by the United States as early as 2020, and many VPN apps are still on the Apple and Google stores, causing lawmakers to question the two major technology companies ignoring risks and profiting from Chinese companies. The letter emphasized that Chinese apps may hand over U.S. user data to the CCP, violating privacy commitments, and asked the two companies to explain the review mechanism in app downloads. As of now, Apple and Google have not responded. News Focus: Li Junliang recently clarified that the revelation was untrue and supported by his ex-wife Xiao Zhen, emphasizing that the equipment was legally purchased and provided invoice evidence. After the turmoil, he behaved in a low-key manner, but he was still directly hit by going to high-end Japanese food with his rumored girlfriend Tian Xin, and then picked up the mysterious hot pants girl to return home after the meal, which aroused the attention of the outside world to his private life. Li responded that the two were only friends of friends, emphasizing that he and Tian Xin had a stable relationship and got along like marriage. The overall turmoil has not completely subsided, and the outside world continues to pay attention to his professional and private life. News Focus: the host Shen Yulin was shocked to hear that she was rushed to the hospital and comatose due to cerebral edema caused by explosive hepatitis, and the situation in the intensive care unit attracted attention, but the assistant clarified that she only sought medical treatment due to physical discomfort and was not admitted to the ICU. Physician Chen Yonghong reminded that the mortality rate of explosive hepatitis is as high as 70%, and the initial symptoms include nausea and vomiting, abdominal distension, jaundice and brown urine, etc., and in severe cases, liver and brain lesions and cerebral edema. High-risk groups include hepatitis B and C carriers, patients with metabolic disorders, drug abuse and alcoholism. Experts call on people with symptoms to get tested early, especially hepatitis patients, to avoid alcohol and unknown herbs to prevent their condition from worsening. News Focus: in the U12 Baseball World Cup, China came back from a 5-point deficit last night to beat Mexico 6-5. During the game, Mexico was extremely dissatisfied with the Korean referee's decision on the good ball belt, and a Mexican batter was ejected for protesting in the 6th inning, which is rare in the Little League game. After the game, the head coach of the Chinese team, Zhang Zijian, was intruded by Mexican reporters when he was interviewed by Taiwanese media, and the other party held up the Chinese words "This is a robbery," and the scene was tense for a while, but fortunately the conflict did not escalate after the coordination of the staff. News Focus: Korean cheerleading goddess Lee Sejun joined the Fubon Titans this year and was very popular, but the support schedule in August only jumped for 3 consecutive days at the Dome from the 15th to the 17th, and did not appear at Zinswang Stadium at all, causing heated discussions among netizens. She has more monthly support sessions from April to July, and has appeared in Zinswang. In August, he was not at home to Zinswang outdoors at all, in contrast to teammates Lee Ye-young and Nam Min-young. Some netizens criticized her for not being afraid of the heat and not coming to Taiwan, hoping that she could participate in more support in Zinswang. News Focus: Lin Jiachen, the spiritual catcher who helped Taiwan win the World Top 12 baseball tournament last year, was recently released by the American Professional Sportsman. This year, he played in 32 games in 2A, with a batting average of only 1.83%, and his performance was mediocre. Although the Chinese vocational Taiwan Steel Eagles have the top pick and are actively contacted, Lin Jiachen chose to stay in the United States to continue to work hard and did not participate in this year's secondary vocational draft. It is reported that his next step may be to move to the independent league or seek opportunities with other MLS teams to try to revive his career. News Focus: Paris Olympic diving gold medalist Chuan Hongchan gained weight during development, and changes in body shape caused cyberbullying. Her senior brother and former Olympic gold medalist Chen Isen recently shared a training video of Chuan Hongchan, in which she was slightly blessed, but was bombarded by netizens Chen Isen for taking the lead in bullying, and Chen Isen immediately deleted the video. Chuan Hongchan is 18 years old this year, only 150 centimeters tall, and has been unfairly accused of natural changes in physical development, and some netizens are unfair for her, emphasizing that she is in the rehabilitation stage and has not yet recovered to her best state, calling for an end to cyberbullying. News Focus: in the second half of 2025, there are 5 zodiac signs with strong luck. Sagittarius has good work inspiration, can simplify the complex, and promotion and salary increase are just around the corner. Scorpio is popular, the nobles in the workplace help each other, and the mood is relaxed. Leo has strong combat effectiveness, prosperous business, and male nobles to help with wealth. Capricorn's financial resources come from dark money, and they make good use of gossip and investment analysis to open up financial paths. Taurus has the fortune of eating sugarcane. Upside down, after breaking the fortune in the first half of the year, the second half of the year will reverse the situation with hard work, and the treatment will be improved, reminding you to be humble. News Focus: this morning, 30th A magnitude 8.8 shallow earthquake occurred off the coast of Kamchatka, Russia, triggering tsunami warnings and warnings issued by Japan, the United States and Taiwan. The Central Meteorological Administration said that the tsunami is expected to affect the coast of Taiwan from 1:18 p.m., affecting the east, southeast, northeast, southwest, north and coastal areas of the strait, with a wave height of about 0.3 to 1 meter. The epicenter of the earthquake is located at the junction of the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate, and the topography causes some coastal waves to rise. The Meteorological Department reminds the public to be vigilant that tsunami waves will continue to come one after another, and that they must wait for the warning to be lifted before engaging in water activities, and continue to pay attention to the latest tsunami information. News Focus. The Audit Department released the 113th Annual Final Account Report of Hualien County, pointing out that the plan implementation rate of some organs is low, and the capital expenditure retention ratio is more than 40%. Democratic Progressive Party lawmaker Hu Renshun criticized the county government for having money that cannot be spent but taking it hard and called for the general distribution of 50,000 yuan to return to the county residents. Hu Renshun's proposal to issue 50,000 yuan in February this year has been passed, but the county government said that the new version of the Central Financial Planning Law has not been decided and cannot be planned for the time being. The Kuomintang Parliamentary Caucus refuted the lack of financial viability of the move, accusing Hu Renshun of fooling voters, and Hualien's universal development policy caused controversy. News Focus host Shen Yulin was recently admitted to the hospital for examination due to physical discomfort, and her friends and assistants clarified that she was not in a coma, cerebral edema, or admitted to the intensive care unit. It is reported that he was overburdened with his liver due to recent consumption of a variety of healthy foods, and developed symptoms of fever and loss of appetite. The TV station said that Shen Yulin only sought medical treatment due to physical discomfort, and the program was suspended this week and will continue to pay attention to her health condition. News Focus. Chi County was hit by heavy rainfall yesterday, and many low-lying areas were flooded. 3 pig farms were affected, the most serious of which was near the Great Pai of Hobeo Island, where the river overflowed due to the low-lying terrain, resulting in the drowning of more than 2,000 pigs and losses of more than 10 million yuan. The industry has transferred the remaining more than 100 pigs to Zhonghua for breeding. Due to the depth of the water up to 2 meters, the rescue process is difficult, and the water must be pumped out before rescue can be carried out. People are busy cleaning up their homes after the water recedes. News Focus. Fui Yuan peanut butter, a well-known specialty in Hsinchu, was recently detected by the Taipei and Dawin Health Bureaus to exceed the aflatoxin standard, and the Hsinchu City Health Bureau immediately asked the industry to completely remove it from the shelves and conduct an inspection. The latest batch of products with an expiration date of September 10, 2025 is still unqualified, and the Health Bureau has ordered the operator to recall the problematic product and suspend production, and at the same time impose penalties in accordance with the law. Aflatoxin is a high-risk carcinogenic substance commonly found in peanuts and tree nuts, and the Health Bureau stresses that operators must strictly control raw materials and production processes, and will continue to strengthen sampling and inspection to ensure consumer food safety. If the public has relevant products that can be contacted by the industry, they will handle the return and exchange. News Focus. The chain ice cream brand Cool Shenxi Taichung Kinmi Is Light Green Garden Road store is suspected of using diluted hypochlorous acid water as plain water, causing 4 people to drink it by mistake and 2 people to be sent to the hospital. The patient had symptoms such as throat tingling and nausea, and the male customer still had pain in swallowing and hoarseness. The Taichung City Food Safety Department has ordered the suspension of business in accordance with the food safety law and transferred it to the prosecution and investigation, and if it is involved in the crime of public harm, the operator may face 7 years in prison and a fine of 10 million. Physicians from the Ministry of Health and Welfare remind that drinking hypochlorous acid water by mistake may corrode the digestive tract, and it is recommended to dilute the water and seek medical attention as soon as possible. The city government is continuing to investigate and assist the victim consumers in seeking compensation. News Focus. Car windows are prone to fogging, mainly due to the large temperature difference between the inside and outside of the car, and the hot air condenses into water droplets when the cold glass encounters it, affecting the driver's line of sight. There are 4 ways to quickly remove fog. First, activate the defogging button, especially the front windshield defogging with air conditioning, A/C, and external circulation, which can quickly remove fog. Second, turn on the air conditioner and use external circulation to promote air circulation and dehumidification. Third, roll down the window to allow air to convection and reduce the temperature difference. Fourth, wipe the glass mist with a towel, and the outer mist can be matched with wipers. In terms of prevention, a neutral and mild anti-fog spray can be used to form a hydrophilic film on the inside of the glass to reduce water droplet condensation and prevent fogging. News Focus. After Xiao's sister Da-S died of illness in February this year, she resigned from the hosting of Miss Buxidai due to grief, and Wu Shanru took over. Recently, Wu Zongxian criticized Da-S for no tutoring during the live broadcast, and later said that the target was Huang Zijiao, not the sisters of the S family. Tao Jingying attended the event today and admitted that she cares about Xiao S, saying that she is gradually recovering and hopes that the outside world will give her time and space. In response to Wu Zongxian's remarks, she questioned whether she had forgotten what she had said or whether it was AI impersonation. Tao Jingying called on the outside world to let Xiao's mourn and show her distress and support. News focus. In recent years, Taiwan's tourism has attracted a large number of Japanese and Korean tourists, but recently some Korean tourists have commented negatively on Taiwan's travel experience. Despite the fact that Taiwanese operators offer discount packages that include 4-star hotels, air tickets, and dining vouchers, South Korean travelers are still deterred by Taiwan's high summer heat, humidity, and high number of cockroaches. Some Koreans pointed out that cockroaches can be seen even in 5-star restaurants, and the climate is humid, which affects the interest in tourism. The hot and humid weather is more difficult to adapt to than the dry heat in Japan, which has become an important factor in the decline in the willingness of Korean tourists to come to Taiwan. News focus. MrBeast, which has more than 400 million YouTube subscribers, became popular with creative challenges and amazing prizes, giving away many luxury cars, including 26 Tesla Model 3s and Cybertrucks, as well as 40 cars celebrating the 40 million subscription giveaway, including the classic Porsche Boxster. At the 2022 Australian Chocolate event, he gave away 10 luxury cars, highlighted by the 2015 Lamborghini Huracan LP610-4 and the limited edition of 500 units of the 2020 Ford Mustang R-Spec. The game streamer Sapnap also received the Lamborghini Gallardo. In addition, he once tipped his new car to waiters and delivery people, and his bold behavior became a feature of the channel, showing his generosity and creativity. News focus. U.S. vehicle tariffs on Taiwan have not yet been determined, but tariffs on U.S. cars are expected to be reduced, especially Tesla and German Double B leisure travel. Tariff reductions will theoretically reduce the price of imported cars, but it is not a simple percentage reduction. The car price includes a number of costs, such as excise tax, freight, sales, and maintenance costs, and customs duties are just one of them. Some parts of Double B in the United States are subject to high tariffs, resulting in increased production costs, which may offset the benefits of lower tariffs and even lead to higher prices. Because water trucks are mostly 2-3 years old used cars, the price will drop in the short term when tariffs are reduced, but they are still affected by the cost of new cars and exchange rates in the long run. The recent strengthening of the Taiwan dollar is beneficial to imports, but the profits of export companies have been compressed, and consumption power has weakened, which has become the biggest challenge for automobile sales. News focus. 71-year-old actress Chen Yingxia has been sent to the hospital many times for rescue due to kidney failure and sepsis, and her condition was once serious, and her family even considered giving up treatment. Recently, the news of her death shocked the outside world, but her friend Su Chengde and the agency both clarified that the news was untrue, saying that Chen Yingxia is still receiving treatment at Taipei Rongzhong and is in stable physical condition. News focus. August will usher in the beginning of autumn, and Sohu.com named the 4 zodiac signs of rabbit, horse, monkey, and pig under the blessing of auspicious stars, and there is a turning point in emotions and wealth. Rabbit people have the blessing of the red Lewin star, their feelings are warmed up and the workplace is stable, so it is recommended to wear jade green jewelry to increase their peach blossom luck. Horses are influenced by the stagecoach star, travel brings wealth, and the side hustle is successful, but they need to be careful of impulsive consumption. Monkeys have the help of 3 nobles, teamwork is fruitful, and partial wealth can be expected, so it is recommended to place the Wenchang pagoda. The pig has a high fortune, a significant career turnaround, stable feelings, and financial luck, and is suitable for investment and placement of copper pixie to increase luck. News focus. Israeli actor Alan Abatbar died suddenly at the age of 60 after swimming at Habonam Beach in Tel Aviv, and died after emergency cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Elon rose to prominence with the 1986 film Two Fingers from Sidon and then moved to Hollywood, starring in well-known works such as The Dark Knight, Dawn Rising and Total Capture 2. Israeli Culture Minister Miki Zohar praised its profound cultural impact. Elon and his wife Silbilia have 4 children, leaving behind a wealth of acting achievements. News focus. 57-year-old artist Shen Yulin was rushed to the hospital yesterday, 29th, due to physical discomfort, and it was reported that she suffered from explosive hepatitis and cerebral edema, and was suspected of entering the intensive care unit for rescue, but the assistant clarified that it was only a medical examination and did not admit to the intensive care unit. 11 o'clock Hot Shop therefore suspended the recording for a week. Shen Yulin's recent weight drop has been related to diet control and exercise. Lin Xiang, the cheerleading goddess who has worked with him for many years, was sad and cried when she heard the news, and her agent revealed that she was very concerned about Shen Yulin's health and hoped that he would recover soon. News focus. F4 member Zhu Xiaotian recently bluntly said in a live broadcast, "Taiwan is a province," and said that "I hope to be reunified as soon as possible." He recalled that he rarely went to Chinese mainland before the age of 20, and when he grew up, he lived and worked in the mainland, experienced many beautiful things and food, and reflected on the fact that Taiwanese education made him misunderstand the beauty of Chinese mainland. Zhu Xiaotian's remarks have attracted attention, coinciding with the DPP's defeat in the recall election, the second wave of recall actions is being carried out enthusiastically, and cross-strait issues have once again become the focus. News-focused AS, Su Ziwan, died of illness in early February this year and rested in Jinbao Mountain, and her husband Gu Junyi was recently seen going to the cemetery every day to accompany him, and his body was much thinner than in the past, which was distressing. Gu Junyi carefully placed flowers, prepared food, and even painted on the spot for DS, showing affectionate companionship. After the post was exposed, netizens were moved to praise him as an affectionate man, but they also hoped that he could let go of it as soon as possible and return to life. According to friends, Gu Junyi goes to the cemetery every morning to accompany DS not alone, and SS mother is also grateful for her son-in-law's sincere dedication and hopes that he can take care of himself. News Focus actor Zhuang Kaixun was attacked by netizens for publicly supporting the recall and saying "don't garbage," and he responded in the community by emphasizing that his acting experience is diverse, and he has won a number of nominations and awards between 2010 and 2024. He believes that the artist's job comes from professional and audience support, not political background, emphasizing that actors are also citizens and have the right to express their positions, and hopes to trigger more discussions on civic issues. News Focus Myanmar has rich heavy rare earth resources and has long been exported to China for processing, but the local ethnic minority Kachin Independence Army is dissatisfied with being exploited by China and hopes to cooperate with the United States and India to develop and process heavy rare earths, and instead supply them to the United States to reduce dependence on China. The Trump administration is exploring a peace and cooperation agreement with the Myanmar military government or the Kachin Independence Army, and is considering lifting some sanctions and tariffs to support India's participation in processing. However, the ongoing civil war in Myanmar has made it difficult to transport rare earths from Kachin State to India, especially the practical difficulties of transporting rare earths from Kachin State, and China may block this move. The plan is still in the early stages of discussion and it is not clear whether it will be implemented. News Focus: a man surnamed Lin was locked up by an illegal group engaged in underground lending, and his son was kidnapped by a bureau, but Lin's mother took money to save her son but could not pay the ransom of 100 million yuan offered by the gangsters, but was controlled. Lin's father was then kidnapped, and after raising a ransom of 11.4 million yuan, the family of 3 was released. The police arrested the main suspect Wang Fuifeng and 2 accomplices, prosecuted them for the captor's atonement, and demanded heavy sentences. Another main suspect surnamed Zhang absconded to Vietnam on the day of the incident and is currently wanted. The whole incident occurred on May 24. Wang Nan pretended to buy boutiques to set up a bureau to kidnap Lin Nan's son, used a stun baton and handcuffed him in the process, and then kidnapped Lin's mother and Lin's father to force ransom, and the police followed the line to solve the case. News Focus at 7:25 a.m. today, 30th, a magnitude 8.7, later revised to 8.8, earthquake occurred off the eastern coast of Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula, triggering a tsunami, the world's largest earthquake since the 311 earthquake in Japan in 2011. The Central Meteorological Administration has issued a tsunami warning, and it is expected that from 13:18 today, the eastern part of Taiwan and coastal areas will be affected by the tsunami, with wave heights ranging from 0.3 to 1 meter. The Meteorological Administration reminded coastal people to be on high alert, pay close attention to follow-up warnings and evacuation instructions, and recommend evacuating to higher places to ensure safety. If the tsunami risk persists, the Meteorological Department will issue a higher level warning around 10 a.m. News Focus: the latest U.S. tariff measures will officially take effect on August 1, and Taiwan's tariff rate has not yet been announced. Bloomberg quoted sources as saying that the Trump team only promised to give the best tax rate, which is estimated to be about 15% obtained by Japan, but did not disclose the specific figure. The United States also asked Taiwan to increase investment in the United States, similar to the $550 billion investment fund promised by Japan. Taiwan is stepping up negotiations to avoid tariffs of up to 32%. Experts pointed out that Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te is facing pressure from Sino-US trade negotiations and uncertainty about the direction of U.S. policy, which will be a major challenge for future governments. News Focus: foreign media reported that U.S. President Trump refused Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te to transit through New York during his visit to Central and South America due to Chinese factors, which attracted attention. In this regard, U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent said in an interview on Tuesday that the U.S.-China trade negotiations focused on trade issues and did not involve Lai Ching-te's trip, emphasizing that the United States will not confuse national security with trade issues. The U.S. State Department also responded that Taiwan has not officially announced President Lai's transit plan, and emphasized that Taiwan's president's transit policy is consistent with the past and has not changed. The overall attitude shows that the United States is trying to downplay the matter and avoid political factors interfering with trade negotiations. News Focus: Formosa Plastics Sabayo's total loss in the second quarter exceeded 25 billion yuan, reflecting that China's fierce involution competition has put great pressure on Taiwan's traditional industries. Xie Jinhe, chairman of Cakes and Media, pointed out that the stock price has fallen below the net value, and the market reaction has become dull, but this adversity is an opportunity for the reform of the transmission industry. Nanya has announced an investment of 52 billion yuan to enter the high-end electronic materials market, benefiting from the growth of demand for copper foil substrates and glass fiber cloth driven by the demand for AI servers. He suggested that Formosa Plastics Group carry out corporate restructuring, spin-off petrochemical, electronic materials, and glass fiber businesses to enhance competitiveness and help Taiwan's traditional industries turn around to meet the challenges of transformation. News focus: Xinzhuang District, New Taipei City. Late at night on the 28th, a box corpse murder case broke out, and the police received a report from the village chief that a suitcase was found in the alley of Xintai Road abandoned in the ditch, suspected of a peculiar smell. The blockade line was pulled up at the scene and forensic personnel were notified to arrive, and it was found that there was a male corpse in the suitcase, with maggots on the outside, but there was no obvious trauma on the body, and it was judged dead for many days. In this regard, forensic Dr. Gao Dachan deduced that the body thrower may have often gone abroad, because he did not want people to know that the deceased died in his own home, so he chose to throw the body. News focus at 7:25 a.m. this morning, 30th, a magnitude 8.8 earthquake occurred off the east coast of Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula, with an epicenter depth of about 19 kilometers, causing damage to many buildings, including a kindergarten that was half collapsed, but no one was trapped. The earthquake caused a tsunami of 3 to 4 meters high, and the United States and Japan have issued tsunami warnings and launched evacuation operations. The Japan Meteorological Agency reminded coastal residents to take shelter on higher ground as soon as possible, and the tsunami is expected to hit Japan's Pacific coast between 10 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. Local officials called the earthquake the strongest in decades and called on people to stay away from the coastline and continue to pay attention to the follow-up disaster. News focus: the first wave of recalls ended on July 26, and none of the 24 Kuomintang legislators passed, and on August 23, the recall of 7 Kuomintang legislators will be voted on the same day as the resumption of the 3 nuclear referendums initiated by the People's Party. Nantou County Mayor Su Shihua avoided voter confusion and helped the Blue Camp legislators advocate disagree with both votes, which caused dissatisfaction among People's Party supporters and criticized the importance of the nuclear referendum being ignored. The Nantou County government clarified last night that Su Shihua is not opposed to the extension of the third nuclear service, emphasizing that nuclear energy is the key to stable power supply, and will produce propaganda to help the public vote correctly, hoping to reduce confusion. News focus: the results of the 726 recall were released, and the recall case against 24 Kuomintang legislators and the suspended Hsinchu Mayor Gao Honggan was not passed, triggering an internal review of the Green Camp. Kuomintang legislator Luo's Haiqiang still insisted on praying for votes rain or shine due to swollen and painful eyes for 3 weeks, and recently underwent surgical treatment, describing his body and mind being squeezed to the limit, and angrily criticized President Li Qiang for being hateful and immoral. This remark sparked heated discussions among netizens, with some questioning Luo's excessive procrastination, while others sympathizing with his hard work, which became the focus of politics after the recall case. News focus: internet celebrity curator Chen Haihan flew to Macau for a field survey after the results of the recall were released, preparing to set up a development base in China to promote the brand. When media person Huang Guangqin recently interviewed Huang Qiukang, chairman of the People's Party, he criticized the curator for not discussing Taiwan's subjectivity and values, and said that the general recall became the curator's westward surrender, which caused the curator to angrily spray Huang Guangqin, pointing out that the other party's remarks were the same as the green media, and denounced the 40 minutes. The curator also changed his words in the live broadcast and said that he was interviewed before coming to Macau, but the process was crooked, which was caught by netizens and jokingly called the friendship boat capsized and the invisible wings are talking, and the two exchanged fire in the air and sparked heated discussions. News focus at 7:25 a.m. today, 30th, a magnitude 8.8 earthquake occurred off the eastern coast of Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula, and the Central Meteorological Administration issued a tsunami warning at 11:40 a.m., and it is estimated that the tsunami will affect the coastal areas of Taiwan from 1:18 p.m. The wave height is expected to be between 0.3 and 1 meter in the southeast and southwest coasts, and less than 0.3 meters in the north, northeast, east and coastal areas of the strait. The Meteorological Department reminded the public to be vigilant and guard against the dangers caused by sudden surge waves, and stressed that tsunami waves will hit continuously, so do not mistakenly believe that maritime activities can resume after the first wave, and will continue to update relevant information. News focus: the Kaohsiung Water Conservancy Bureau was questioned by the public for impersonating Taichung Mayor Liu Ziyan with an official door number to send a brief message about the general recall. The Water Resources Bureau confirmed that the door number was indeed used for water conservancy publicity, but denied sending a recall briefing, suspecting that it was used by unknown people to mislead the public, and had reported the case to the police and made a record. Recently, some netizens spread the content of suspected Liu Ziyan's text message, saying that if you don't vote, you will lose 10,000 yuan in tax repayment to the people, which caused doubts. The police are tracing the true source of the text message and whether anyone has spread false information by impersonating the Kaohsiung Water Resources Bureau. News focus after the recall case in Guangfulai, Yanghe District, New Taipei City, broke out the turmoil of filling in the wrong number of votes. Legislator Lin Defoe revealed that there was also a problem of filling in the consent and disagreement votes in Zhaihokengli, Zhanghe District. Wu Jinsong, the local village chief, found an abnormality at the counting site and corrected the mistake on the spot, emphasizing that it was an unintentional mistake caused by insufficient education and training of election officials. Lin Defoe questioned the ineffective supervision of the Central Election Commission and called for a comprehensive review of the election system and personnel training to avoid similar mistakes affecting the election results. The New Taipei City Election Commission said that the error should be corrected on the spot, and the number of votes should be fine, and explained that most election officials were negligent due to work fatigue, emphasizing the fairness and justice of election affairs. News Focus Bloomberg reported that President Lai Ching-te has suffered a number of political setbacks in the past week, severely damaging the prestige of domestic and foreign leaders. The defeat of the recall vote and the refusal of the United States to refuse his trip to the United States in August have exacerbated Lai Ching's difficult situation. The Trump team in the United States has proposed tariffs at the best rate to Taiwan, estimated at about 15%, but did not release a clear figure, and Taiwan is trying to avoid tariffs of up to 32%. Experts believe that with the progress of Sino-US trade negotiations and the direction of U.S. policy towards China, Lai Ching will face greater challenges in the future, which may affect Taiwan's interests and defense budget. News Focus actress Wang Sijia married her Chinese-American husband Zhou in 2016, and her image after marriage was once regarded as marrying into a wealthy family, but Zhou's background has been repeatedly questioned, and it has been rumored that he is not a rich second generation, but a driver or bodyguard. Recently, some netizens found a fake account suspected of Zhou on the American dating app Bumble, and the content of the account is highly consistent with the dynamics of Zhou's community. Wang Sijia clarified through her agent that the account was not her husband himself, but a fake account that stole public photos. In this regard, she responded to questions in the community, emphasizing that fake accounts are easy to fake, and received support from fans. The incident sparked heated discussions among netizens, and some people questioned whether she was targeted and cheered her on. News Focus: the Taipei Metro Wenhu line had an equipment failure yesterday, and the Taipei Metro Company apologized and preliminarily determined that it was an abnormal propulsion switch assembly, causing line interruption and causing dissatisfaction among commuters. Professor Hong Baixian of Fengchia University pointed out that the Wenhu line has been in operation for nearly 30 years, close to the general service life of the train, and it is normal for the equipment to age and fail. He suggested that Beijing adjust the maintenance plan and introduce new technologies such as AI to predict equipment wear and tear in advance through data analysis, reduce the frequency of failures, and improve operational stability. News Focus: in August, a number of new systems were launched, including the official renaming of the Booi seat to priority seats, which expanded the applicable target to all those in need. Military civilian airports are prohibited from taking photos, and the maximum fine for violations is 150,000 yuan. Free Wi-Fi service is available on all routes of China Airlines designated aircraft. The two-stage left turn of locomotives at the third intersection of Hsinchu City has been cancelled and replaced with a direct left turn. The new Taipei MRT ring line increased the frequency and shortened the interval. Outpatient intravenous antibiotic treatment is included in the health insurance benefits to reduce emergency congestion. The free hepatitis B and C screening age has been lowered to 39 years old. Aboriginal people aged 55 to 64 can be vaccinated against pneumococcal vaccine at public expense. Those over 80 years old can apply for foreign caregiver without the PAP scale. Online application for student loan opening is free of handling fee. RT Mart stores in Taiwan were renamed to Quanlian. News Focus: many women dream of marrying into wealthy families, and women with specific words in their names are more likely to attract wealthy businessmen. For example, a person with the word Rain in his name has a gentle and friendly personality, and has a natural affinity. Those with the word Yuan are elegant and beautiful, and their wisdom is outstanding. Those with the word Yi are stable and reliable, making their partners feel safe. Those with the word Quiet have a peaceful state of mind and can resolve conflicts. Those with the word Tian have a gentle and confident personality and a leisurely attitude towards life. Those with the word Ruo are flexible, intelligent, and adaptable. These qualities make them stand out in their interpersonal and love lives, and they are more likely to win the favor of wealthy businessmen and people of social status. News Focus: choose a travel agency carefully when traveling during summer vacation. The Tourism Administration of the Ministry of Communications announced that a number of travel agencies were ordered to suspend business due to financial abnormalities, among which Sheng Yuan Travel Agency, which has been in operation for 34 years, was suspended for 3 months in January this year due to repeated bill refunds and poor financial conditions, and was officially dissolved on February 12. In addition, Forget-Me-Nots, Diang, Xiangzhan, and Fujiang Travel Agency were also suspended due to debt disputes or arrears of passenger fees. Recently, Fenglian Travel Agency has been closed since June due to financial problems and closed on July 11. Passengers must be cautious when choosing a travel agency to protect their own rights and interests. News Focus. The Central Meteorological Administration issued a heavy thunderstorm warning for Nantou County from 7:30 a.m. on the 30th, and many places in Nantou urban area were flooded, with rainfall reaching 68 to 80 millimeters in some areas. The section from Yujing Street to Nanyang Road was flooded with water and half a tire high, and the alleys of Zhonggongli were flooded, and some vehicles even broke down due to waiting. In response to the disaster, the Nantou County government announced that Xinyi Township would suspend work and classes from 9:30 a.m., and firefighters also accepted requests for help from the public to assist in preventive evacuation, and continued to pay attention to the follow-up rainfall and flooding conditions. News Focus. The U.S. nonprofit environmental organization announced the top 12 dirtiest fruits and vegetables, with spinach, strawberries, and kale ranking in the top 3, with the highest amount of pesticide residues. Nutritionist Gao Minmin reminded that long-term intake of pesticides may affect cardiovascular health, reduce male sperm quality and female ovarian function, and increase the risk of breast cancer and diabetes, and pregnant women and infants and young children will have a greater impact. She recommends washing vegetables and fruits first, washing them twice with running water, removing rotten parts, and drying them with a clean towel, especially multi-layered leafy vegetables and strawberries. Proper cleaning can effectively reduce the risk of pesticides and bring out the health value of fruits and vegetables. News Focus. This morning, 30th, a magnitude 8.8 earthquake occurred off the coast of Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula, and triggered a 4-meter height tsunami to hit the city of North Kuril Islands. Earthquake expert Guo Kaiwen said that the strong earthquake was caused by the sinking of the Pacific Plate to the North American Plate, releasing energy equivalent to 8,000 atomic bombs, and there have been many aftershocks, and there may still be aftershocks of magnitude 7 or higher in the future. Although Russia and Japan issued tsunami warnings, the impact on Taiwan was limited because the tsunami mainly moved southeast. Guo Kaiwen pointed out that this marks the end of the Earth's 6th longest earthquake calm period, and earthquakes above magnitude 8 will be more frequent in the future, calling on the public to be more vigilant. News Focus. Trump verbally promised to give Taiwan the best tax rate, but asked to increase investment in the United States compared to Japan, and the military morale of Taiwan stocks stabilized on the 30th and recovered the 5-day line. Plastic stocks were led by Formosa Plastics, 1,301, and Taiwan Chemical, Nanya, Formosa Plastics, and other grades rose by more than half a limit, and the index rose by more than 8%. South Asia rose 16.9% in the past 3 days and 24.16% on the 5th. Although it was announced that the loss in June expanded, but the stock price continued to rise, and the trading volume exploded. The legal person analyzes the recovery of South Asia's electronic materials business and is expected to turn profitable in 2026. In terms of chips, foreign capital was significantly oversold on the 29th, but the investment trust bucked the trend and increased, and the overall legal person continued to buy more than South Asia. News Focus. TICO, 1504, has suspended trading since the 30th due to important information to be announced, and the market is generally concerned about the cooperation with Honhai, 2317. The two sides suspended trading simultaneously on the 29th, triggering expectations for cooperation in the field of electric vehicles, especially electric buses. TICO has the core technology of motors and power electronics, and the potential of the Honhai MIH platform is also available, and there is room for cooperation in the fields of intelligent manufacturing, energy management, and AI. The legal person speculates that the suspension may involve equity investment or major asset transactions, and the establishment of a joint venture does not require suspension. It is expected that the details will be announced on the afternoon of the 30th, which will become the focus of investors' attention. News Focus. Shinkong Mitsukoshi decided on the latest management team in mid-July, and for the first time, Wu Ziniang served as deputy director and general manager, raising doubts about conflicts of interest. People close to major shareholder Wu Dongjin said that in the future, the board of directors will discuss and look forward to adjustments when the company moves towards IPO and revision of the Articles of Association to strengthen corporate governance. Shinkong Mitsukoshi's equity is dominated by more than 60% of the Pan Shinkong family, with the Japanese side holding 21.5% and the Wu Dongxing family holding 18%. Wu Dongjin's relatives and friends emphasized that Shinkong Life has made great contributions to the development of Shinkong Mitsukoshi, and hopes that the 3 generations of successor members will work together to promote brotherly unity, common governance, and common prosperity. News Focus. Bloomberg reported that President Lai Ching-te has recently suffered political setbacks, including the failure of the general recall and the rumored refusal to transit the United States next month, and then faces the challenge of the United States to set the effective date of tariffs. It is reported that the United States has verbally promised Taiwan a best rate tariff, estimated at about 15%, but has not yet announced specific figures. The United States is asking Taiwan to increase its investment in the United States after Japan agreed to invest $550 billion in the United States. The Taiwan delegation has been negotiating in Washington for nearly a week, and there has been no progress announcement, and the market is worried that the tariffs will take effect on August 1, and if an agreement is not reached, Taiwan-US relations may change. News Focus. New Taipei City promoted the Galaxy Bay plan to move the Sankong fruit and vegetable wholesale market to Luzhu, which triggered a strong backlash from local residents, worried about the traffic paralysis in Luqiao, and demanded that the market be rebuilt on the original site. At the briefing on the 29th, Kuomintang lawmaker Chen Minji was dissatisfied with the people's speech and broke out into a physical altercation with a citizen, which sparked heated discussions. Chen Minji responded that he was just pushing the other person's arm with a tablet. New Taipei City Mayor Hou Yuyi said that he will listen to the opinions of citizens, continue to communicate and deal with them in accordance with the law, and whether to adjust the policy is still to be discussed, and he hopes to make a complete explanation to calm the people's doubts. News Focus. Former President Tsai Ing-wen delivered a speech at the opening ceremony of Prototype, Mr. Democracy 2.0 Digital Li Tenghui Special Exhibition on the 30th after the failure to be recalled in 726. She said that Taiwan's democratic journey has never been smooth sailing, and in the face of setbacks, it is still necessary to firmly believe that every citizen participation is an important step in promoting democracy, and thanked the street volunteers and the people who returned to Taiwan to vote. Tsai Ing-wen mentioned the democratic reforms of the Li Tenghui era, emphasizing that modern Taiwan should expand citizen participation, deepen democratic institutions, and protect hard-won freedoms. She hopes that the exhibition will bring the new generation closer to Li Tenghui's democratic spirit, and emphasized that democracy is a long-term project shared by generations. News Focus. The Ministry of Finance will handle the first batch of tax refunds for the 113th Annual Comprehensive Income Tax Settlement Declaration on July 31, 114, with more than 3.62 million tax refunds and more than 58.5 billion yuan, an increase of 190,000 and 2.7 billion yuan over last year. The Taipei National Taxation Bureau reminds that choosing direct tax refund is the fastest and safest way, and the tax refund can be directly credited to the account on the same day. Those who do not adopt it will receive a tax refund voucher and must take the voucher to the designated bank to redeem it before the end of September. The tax refund voucher has different collection regulations depending on the amount, and the IRS will not refund the tax by phone or ATM, so if you have any questions, you should call the official service number or contact the IRS. News Focus. It is estimated that there are about 350,000 people with dementia in Taiwan, and financial services are facing challenges as the aging population intensifies. Fubon Securities, a subsidiary of Fubon Financial Holdings, joins hands with health and police units to promote dementia-friendly organizations and provide dignified and safe financial services. Fubon Property and Casualty Insurance strengthened employees' coping capabilities through physical training and cooperated with the Elderly Welfare Promotion Alliance to launch educational picture books to enhance dementia awareness. Through internal education and social learning, both parties are committed to creating a sustainable and age-friendly financial environment to protect the rights and dignity of people with dementia. News Focus. The U.S. reciprocal tariffs on Taiwan will be on the road on August 1, but Taiwan's tariff rate has not yet been announced, and Executive Yuan Vice President Zhang Lijun is still negotiating in Washington. Former DPP legislator Guo Zhengliang broke the news that the United States asked Taiwan to invest up to $300 billion, about NT $8.9 trillion, in SoftBank's Sun Zhenji's AI park and establish a sovereign fund, with very strict conditions. Guo pointed out that the tariff negotiations between the United States and South Korea have also reached an impasse due to the increase in investment requirements to $400 billion, indicating that the United States move is not only a tax, but also requires Taiwan and other countries to invest large amounts of money in the U.S. market, bringing great pressure and challenges. News Focus. In April this year, a 59-year-old man surnamed Lin in Dali District, Taichung, was refused and scolded for asking his mother for 200 yuan for a phone bill, and lost control of his emotions and continuously beat, choked, and covered his 76-year-old mother's mouth and nose, causing his mother to suffocate to death. At the time of the incident, Lin Nan was suspected of being drunk and out of control. His nephew heard a strange noise and called the police, and his mother died after being sent to the hospital. After the incident, Lin Nan repeatedly called the police and confessed to killing his mother, but after sobering up, he regretted shirking. The prosecution investigated that he had a criminal record of domestic violence, and the forensic doctor confirmed that the cause of death was suffocation by strangulation, and the prosecution prosecuted Lin Nan for homicide, and the case will be tried by a national judge. News Focus. Affected by the southwest airflow, heavy rainfall fell in the central and southern regions today, 30th, and there may be local heavy rain or super heavy rain in the mountainous areas of Kaohsiung and Pingtung, and the Water Resources Department issued a flood warning for Nantou, Kaohsiung, and Pingtung. Nantou Zhongliao and other places are listed as first-level alert areas, while Chidapo and Pingtung Sandaman are listed as second-level alert. Many places announced the suspension of work and classes due to the disaster, including Kaohsiung Liaogui, Pingtung Sandaman and other townships. The public should pay attention to the water accumulation in low-lying areas and be vigilant when going out. News Focus. A magnitude 8.8 earthquake occurred off the eastern coast of Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula this morning, with an epicenter depth of about 18.2 kilometers, with obvious tsunami potential. The United States and Japan have upgraded tsunami warnings, and Taiwan's Central Meteorological Administration has also issued a tsunami warning, predicting tsunami waves of 0.3 to 1 meter, which may affect the southeast and southwest coasts. The Meteorological Department reminds the public to temporarily avoid seashores and ports, avoid maritime activities, and coastal towns must be prepared for contingencies. News focus: the marriage of actress Kueh and fan Zhang Yanfen has changed, which has sparked heated discussions among netizens. The two have been married since 2022 and have a daughter Xiao Kueh Sauce, but recently it was found that social interaction has decreased and birthdays are not in the same frame. Especially on his birthday, he posted emotionally, and he did not see Kueh, which was different from the flashing style in the past, which heated up the rumors of marriage change. Neither the husband nor the agent has responded to speculation from the outside world, and the marital status is still a mystery. News focus: a magnitude 8.8 earthquake occurred off the coast of Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula on the morning of the 30th, releasing energy equivalent to 8,000 atomic bombs, with the epicenter located about 119 kilometers southeast of Petropavlovsk. The strong earthquake triggered a 4-meter height tsunami and caused tsunami warnings to be issued in Japan, Alaska, Hawaii, and other places. Earthquake expert Guo Kaiwen pointed out that this earthquake marks the end of the earthquake calm period, and earthquakes of magnitude 8 or above may be more frequent in the future, and warned that aftershocks of magnitude 7 or above may continue to occur. News focus: although Lottie girl Lin Ying'el has been publicly single for 4 years, it was recently revealed that she has been secretly in love with her college boyfriend Mr. K for many years. According to witnesses, Mr. K often drove to pick up and drop off Lin Ying'el from 11 kilometers away, showing the image of a caring boyfriend. However, in the evening of the same day, he was photographed picking up and dropping off a mysterious woman and shopping together, which sparked heated discussions about his relationship status. The two sides have not yet responded to the relationship and the suspected two-line relationship, and the incident continues to ferment. News focus: the British group Coldplay concert was shocked by the rape scene, and Byron, the former CEO of an American AI company, had an intimate interaction with the head of human resources on Kisscam suspected of having an affair, which led to Byron's resignation. After the incident was exposed, he was dissatisfied with being publicly humiliated and considered suing Coldplay and the organizers for invasion of privacy and defamation. However, legal experts believe that the chances of winning the lawsuit are not high, and counterterrorism has expanded public opinion. Byron is worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and if his marriage breaks down, he may face a financial blow. News focus: F4 member Zhu Xiaotian recently launched the starting point of his personal tour, and after the Nanjing station ended smoothly, he suddenly announced the cancellation of the Guangzhou show on August 10, citing artist scheduling problems, which shocked fans. In addition to hosting travel programs in recent years, Zhu Xiaotian has also actively studied and transformed into a shop exploration blogger, living a down-to-earth life. F4 also surprised at the May Day concert before singing Meteor Shower to trigger memory killing. News focus: the results of the DPP 726th recall were not as expected, and the party set off a wave of review. Secretary General Lin Yusheng has resigned, while the National Assembly and the Yangjian Association have expressed their support for Li Qing's reappointment as party chairman and Zhou Rongta's continued leadership of the administrative team. The National Assembly emphasized that the recall only involves some constituencies and should not completely deny the results of governance. Although some party insiders called for the resignation of the top management, the relevant post has been deleted, and Zhang Haihao, director of the organization department, also announced his withdrawal from the operation of the Yangjian Association. News focus: DPP Secretary General Lin Yusheng resigned after the defeat of the 726 recall, and Lin Xiao was the most popular candidate to take over. Lin Xiao has party and government experience, has a close relationship with Li Qing, and holds a core position in the election campaign, and is regarded as the most favorable successor. Another popular candidate, Luo Wenjie, is not easy to hand over because of his current position. The party emphasized that the new Secretary General will be responsible for the 823 referendum, the recall of the Blue Committee and the layout of the 2026 election campaign, which has attracted much attention. News focus: a magnitude 8.8 earthquake struck the east coast of Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula, triggering a tsunami, and the United States and Japan issued tsunami warnings simultaneously. A tsunami of 30 centimeters was observed in Nemuro City, Hokkaido, and 40 cm in Tokachi Port. The Japan Meteorological Agency warned that the tsunami wave height may continue to rise, and called on people to quickly evacuate to high places, stay away from the coast, and not be careless.